The Minister for Infrastructure, Tim Crookall, is with us. It's post-budget, and I thought it's a good time to ask a few of these questions that we all want to know. Is, for instance, you get all the money in for the road tax, but you don't spend all that money on the roads. I mean, it's about looking through the pink book, 3.5 million short, I think.
Well, yeah, the money that comes in from road tax goes into the Treasury.
Why do you not just use it, though, for that purpose? I mean, that's what most people would want to know, right?
Well, it's just the way the system's always worked. That money comes in and goes through to Treasury, and then they give us a lump sum every year. So the fact that one's bigger than that, one of those numbers is bigger than the other is neither here nor there. We put a bid in every year for how much we want for the roads, and it's the same as every department. And we have that discussion with Treasury, and they say this is what you're getting. So
you have no control over how much money you can spend on the roads in your own department, even though you've got that money coming in.
That, you know, and obviously, whatever it is, we try and up it every year.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, well, it's up to the Tynwald, you know, when the budget goes forward, as to, you know.
So this is something that can be looked at still. I mean, would you like another £3.5 million? Who wouldn't say yes to that one?
Well, exactly. I mean, our departments like health, you know, would spend as much as you could give us to put the infrastructure right, Paul.
So, because that money's coming into Treasury, it just doesn't get to you at all, you're saying that?
No, I mean, we know how much comes in,
right? But
it goes through to Treasury. It's the way the system works, but,
okay. You seem quite relaxed about it. I thought, you know, that's something.
Well, there's nothing I can do about it. It's the way the system is, isn't it?
What? I don't know. Okay, I mean, all these other things that were raised, I think it was Mrs. Christian particularly raised how you're putting up prices this year. You know, it's way above inflation for things like driving tests or having your car inspected. You know the whole thing that she read out?
Yeah. Rob Collister mentioned it actually first.
Was it
Mrs.
Rob?
Christian raised it in Appendix 9. And some of those rates of increase are way higher than what, you know, we would like to see in government.
Who decides that?
Some of them are less, and some of them, you know. And what I've decided is, you know, those are indicative. You know, if we can, we'll keep it as close, because Chief Minister said he'd like to see all increases around 2%, whether it be wages or increases and anything else. So those figures are indicative, if you like. And while, you know, I could put it up by 25%, in fact.
Well, some are going up by 40% or something.
Well, there's a couple in there you'll notice are 100%, but that means one of them is actually only £1 and it's going to £2. Yes. So when you use percentages,
but
sometimes,
you know, it doesn't seem to sit right that people you can arbitrarily just make up a number. Basically, you don't have to go back to confirm that with anybody. You can increase prices as you want.
I could only go up to what's in the book, but as I gave in my word in Tynwald the other day, I will stick as close to 2% as possible for all the figures that are going up. So I won't be using, you know.
So the driving test and all that, you're happy with the increases and that sort of thing?
And again, as I said in Tynwald the other day, you know, if the department hasn't put those figures up, you know, for 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then all of a sudden decide, we better put those up this year, you know, and we'll leave it till the first year of the new government, then, you know, I'm not happy with that. You know, you either need to do it steadily every year, or, you know, well, you need to do it steadily every year, not just every 3 or 4 or 5 years or something like that. It's not fair to the motorist or anybody when they start trying to plan.
Also from the pink book, and help me out here because I don't know how to read half the stuff. You've allowed for 2% increases and that sort of thing, but you know, inflation's running at 6, whatever. Are you therefore going to have a shortfall basically?
Yeah,
go for 2%.
That's where we have to really look and decide what, you know, our priorities and get our priorities right, and, you know, make our money go as far as possible. Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be another tough year.
I dread to bring it up, but the horse trams was still a major topic of how we're going to get these finished, and you just don't want to engage in that conversation
No,
at all.
I absolutely do engage. And I was.
Oh, you didn't really. You said there's no money, basically.
Well, there isn't, and I said on the interview this week in Manx Radio, you know, there is money in the book to finish it to the War Memorial, £1.2 million. There's more money needed to take it right the way to the Ceto, another £1.5 million after that.
So the minute it's getting to the Esplanade or something, isn't it?
At the moment, it's at the Esplanade, where it will stop there.
And it will stop there.
It'll stop there at the moment, because the points, when they come back at the end of March into beginning of April, they will then allow the trams to come up one side and then come back down the other side. You know, it will finish where it is at the moment for the time being.
So when will this next bit to the
Undecided. Undecided.
How can it be undecided? You got the money for it, haven't you?
I did, yeah. But what I was going to say was, ideally, what it would be nice to do is, if Tynwald wants it to go to the sea terminal, is when we do the next bit to the War Memorial, carry on and do the whole lot. Why do it in 2 lots? Why do it in 2 lots?
Well, because you've got the money for the first bit, you might as well get on with it.
So I might ask Comyn, or Comyn might ask me to come back to Tynwald for the other 1.5, and then finish it to the sea terminal. Rather than do it in 2 jobs, why not do it in one?
What do you want to do?
Hey?
What do you want to do? You're in charge.
I always wanted to see it finished from one end to the other.
Right.
But I wanted one single track. Yeah, I'll be quite honest about that.
Well, it's only going to be single track of that last bit, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever happens, there's no going to be two.
But I would like to see it done in one job rather than two jobs.
Okay, this is quite a big bit of info, I think.
Oh,
sounds to me like, we've got the money to go that far, but let's park that money to one side and wait until we get enough money to go all the way.
So what I'm saying is I now need to have that conversation with council ministers and Treasury to see whether next year I can come back for the £1.5 million to do it to the sea terminal.
Is that what today's prices it will be, will it?
Yes, I think that was the figure that was taken out originally, yeah.
Well, that would be two, won't it? By the time you get around to it and whatever.
Well, hopefully not. I mean, things might have changed, but we're coming out of COVID. Prices are going down again, hopefully slowly. But it's about 1.5 was taken out. So. By
the way, where those wildflowers going to go? It's just a mud bath at the minute. I went past the other day. It's not pretty. Sight.
Well, it's only just been the holes have only just been filled in.
I
with
appreciate
mud,
that, but we have a TT and all the tourists might be turning up. It looks like it's some sort of.
We will do our best to make it look very pretty for you, Paul.
Are you're responsible for that bit, aren't you? Of grass.
Yes, we are.
It's not Dunnes Corporation. They've got the sunken gardens.
That's.
You've got the beach. They've got the sun gardens. Then back to you again.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But that's ours, obviously, because that's where the tram tracks are going to go. So that's ours. So we'll look after that and make it as good as possible for the summer.
While we're talking about budgets and everything, let's mention about other things like the trains and all these sort of things. Where are we up to on all the infrastructure being looked after and exciting things happening with that side of things?
There's a lot of infrastructure work going on. A lot of work hasn't been done, especially over the last couple of years with COVID and things. So
how's your cabbage?
My cabbage.
It's called the cabbage, isn't it? That
you
train.
Call it the cabbage?
No, I think the papers did actually. To be fair, the diesel train.
The diesel engine.
Where are we up to?
Well, it's in the shed down at Bank Circus. It needs a bit of work still doing on it, but hopefully sometime over the summer it'll be up and running again. It needs to be running. There's no point in having it sitting there doing nothing.
Do you know how long ago since we did that interview? We did it. It was 10 years ago, something like that, when it first was.
2012, I think it was.
Was it? There you go. It was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a disaster, hasn't it? Really.
Yep. Oh. So it needs to be out there working. There's no point having it sitting in the garage doing nothing. Sure. See, that'll sell it, isn't it?
Should we? Oh, by the way, the work that is going on the prom. I've seen the patching work already going on, and then we got obviously where the trams are finishing from now. They're still. I went past it this morning just double check. They're still working on all that stuff.
They are, but a lot of it's being cleared up, and then preparation work has been done obviously for when the points arrive, and then as soon as the points are here, that'll be done as quickly as possible. Tidy up, take the fencing down. And then they can get the horses on it and get horses.
Have you got, dates for horse tram service? Not.
Well, as soon as the points are in, I think I've said to you before, it's about 8 weeks to get the horses
we have, but I'm just wondering when
trained up. So
it's going to slip, isn't it? It's going to be after
April.
The start
so
of what we see
winter April, mid-April, I think it is, when the points are in. So as long as the rail regulator has checked those and said they're fine. So let's go worst case scenario, end of April. So you're talking 8 weeks after that. So end of May, end of June. So probably, end of June for the horse trams.
The TT, of course, clearly will have been gone by then. So
yeah, absolutely.
There'll be no horse trams in TT week?
No, I can't see horse trams running up and down there. Not even for training. So maybe for training purposes, but...
I understand, but you're saying earliest is July? So make sure I get this right from you?
I'm just trying to work April, May... Yeah, probably July, Paul, I'm saying.
Which is halfway through what will be the tourist season.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the boats coming in.
Which is a real shame. Yeah, it's a great shame, but,
I mean, considering the whole prom has been geared around the horse trams almost,
well, no, it hasn't.
What I mean, the double thing in the middle, the red concrete and all that.
It's not been geared around the horse trams.
It's been an expensive extra, whatever you call it. I mean, you can't get away from that.
The sooner it's done, the better.
So there will be some sort of tourist season for those horse trams, if you like them, at some point.
I hope so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we talk quickly about Liverpool, only because it's an ongoing thing?
Happy to talk about Liverpool.
With the budget, where we're up to on that and what's gone through this week and how you've budgeted for the
well, budget-wise, nothing's changed. The guys are working on the scheme now. I'm going over at the end of next week to have a look. We've seen we're getting photographs every day. We get an update on it.
It's out there, isn't it?
There's a lot of steel work up now, and there's a lot of groundwork still going on. The job is progressing. Fortunately, touch wood, the weather has been really good to us, and the wind.
It may not be though. Where it's going.
Yeah, I know. We've got next couple of days.
So this is your first time seeing it? Is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have the chance to engage with the contractors, or how's it work? Did you talk to them, or was it a third party that deal with this whole thing?
Well, obviously we've got the project manager within the department that talks to them daily. We have either fortnightly or monthly meetings, and we're talking to them on through Zoom or team meetings. And then next week will be the first time I've been over. Obviously, the other officers have been over. And
when do they ask for more money next time? I mean, there surely will be another time, or am I being too cynical for words?
I hope not. We've had what we think is hopefully the top figure, so I do not want to be going back to Tim Wood.
And is it in the contract they have to have it ready for TT 2023, or is it just as and when?
No, they're hoping to have it. They're hoping to have it finished.
Hoping is one thing, though. But,
Yeah.
Are they under some sort of
completion date is June 2023, and they have said that they are trying to get it forward by up to 3 months if the weather's good.
June? I was going to say June 2023 is tight because that's a week into the TT potentially, isn't it?
May. Sorry, just before the TT. Sorry,
it's
May.
tight then. It is quite.
It is tight, but they have said, weather permitting, they'll be done.
Including the sea trial, new boats and all the things. I don't know what's coming online, but
I don't know what's involved with the sea trials things, but hopefully
there'll be a fair bit of trying it out, won't there, first before they go live.
But the steam packet will work together with the guys over there, as and when they can do. Hopefully, if the sea side of the job is finished, there's no reason why they can't do the sea trials while there's still work going on the land.
So when we talk to you this time next year, at the minute you're hopeful.
Absolutely.
These things come back to bite you.
Of course they do. They always do. But I'm really hopeful, and I hope the guys will pull it out and we'll be finished a month, 2 months before TT period. So we've got that bit of extra time just to bed everything in before the busy period.